What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Torque Spec Garage. As always, we got some more Toyota maintenance how-to for you today. Today we're going to be doing an air filter replacement and an oil change on a 2009 Toyota Camry XLE. I have already put a video on the channel of how to do an oil change on this year model, but that's for the 4-cylinder. This is a 6-cylinder, so just wanted to make a quick video in case you guys need help. So let's get right to it. All right, guys, so first things first, to do this you're going to need oil of your choice, a 5W30 blend. This car with the V6 calls for 6.4 quarts, so make sure you get enough. We're doing an air filter change, so we went with this, the Napa brand, part number 29172. Mobile One filter, part number M1C-251A. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver to take the little clamp on the airbox little intake tube off. Ratchet little extension for the oil filter housing, a 14mm socket for the drain plug, the special socket to get the oil filter off of this year model Toyota. Oh, and yeah, that's all you need to do it, so let's get started. Also, guys, to add on to the things you'll need, you will need a way to get the car off the ground to obviously drain the oil out, but we're going to start up top with the air filter because it's easy. So you have 3 of these little clips to undo. They just pop up. This tab is actually broken, so this one's actually already loose. So you just push down, they flip off. And then you want to unhook these 2 little vacuum hoses up here. And then this is the little clamp I was telling you about. You'll need the Phillips head 4. Get that kind of loose, and then push the tab on your MAF sensor and just unplug it. Slides right off. 1 second. All right, guys, so there's actually a 3rd vacuum line. Just make sure you unhook that. Make sure all of your clips are undone. Make sure your MAF's unplugged. Make sure this is loose so you can slide it out of the little inlet tube. And then you just lift up on the corner. It'll give you the clearance to pull the old filter out. And like the old tool holder here, you just throw that old one away. As you can see, not terrible. It is a little black and dirty, so never hurts to change these whenever you're doing your routine maintenance. And then you just line up. If you were good with shapes in school, unlike this crayon eater.
There we go.
Yeah, obviously make sure you put it in the right way.
Oh my God.
It's hard out here, folks. It's hard to find good help. Okay, and then it just sets back down. Alright, guys, I'll try to get a good visual for you. So these little brackets on the back of the airbox, make sure that the tabs on the top of the airbox slide behind, down, and in. I hope that makes sense. Otherwise, this will not line up properly. There's one on each side right there. And then once you get those lined up, just push down. Put your clips back on. Plug your MAF sensor back in. Hook your vacuum lines back up. And then make sure you tighten this clamp back down. I already did that step. And then that's the air filter part. All right, guys, so we got the car jacked up. Got it off the frame rail. So first thing, undo your oil cap. Just lets the oil drain out smoother. This car has ran for a little bit, so oil's nice and warm. All right, guys, so once you get your trusty tool holder under the car here, it's a 14mm. There's your drain pan. There's your plug on the back side. Make sure you get you something to catch the oil. Otherwise, you're gonna make a big mess. Plug threads out. Remember, if you drop in the pan,
I did that last time.
You're a rookie. Whee! Look at that. Caught the plug. Oil hit the pan. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'll be professional in no time. First time ever doing his own oil change. I'm so proud. It's like a proud dad moment. Except I'm not shining the flashlight in his eyes.
Dang.
Alright guys, so once most of the oil is finished draining out, like I said, there's barely any coming out, so just get you a new crush washer, put it on your plug, and then you just put your plug back in, and the torque spec on the drain plug on this car is 30 foot-pounds. So just be careful, should go in no problem. If there's any binding, just make sure you don't cross thread the thing in there, or you'll never be doing another oil change. And then to get your ratchet back on there, like I said, you don't have to, if you don't have a torque wrench, 30 foot-pounds is not a lot. You don't have to crank the drain plug in there. That would do more harm than good. 30 foot-pounds, that's all it takes. And now we'll get to removing the filter housing. Alright guys, so I'm now in the front of the car. Here's the oil filter housing. They all have this plug in the bottom. You can just use a ratchet to undo that. It's not necessary, but your new filter will come with a little plastic drain thing that threads into here to just drain the oil out of the housing if you don't want to get oil all over yourself, but we do that all the time. Anyway, there's an O-ring inside here to replace if you do take it out. So just food for thought. All right guys, like I said, so make sure you got your specialty housing socket, lefty loosey, filter housing just threads out. These have a cartridge style filter, so you'll see that in just a second. Alright guys, like I said, so taking that little plug out avoids this mess, but like I said, not necessary, not a big deal. If you don't, you'll just get some oil hints. You're going the wrong way there, Chief. Guys, get you, I mean, these eBay tool holders, hey, I'm telling you.
I was about to say, I've been upgraded from tool holder to...
Woo!
To, I don't know, mechanic.
It's like teaching someone how to read. Okay, today we're going to learn left and right. Alright guys, so you might want to always double check the tool holder you got, because this one grabbed us a drain pan that has a hole in it.
Well, I don't see the hole.
Well, it's got one in there because it's all... Because as you can see,
no,
we got...
Ah, that was there.
Oh.
That's not from us.
That's from the other oil change guy. Alright guys, so here's the filter housing once it's off. Like I said, this is the O-ring you have to replace. It comes with your new filter. So, just pull the old filter out. Just slides right out. And then you want to clean the inside of the filter housing out really good. And then your new filter just slides right in. Alright guys, so just get you a pick or a flathead. Old O-ring just pops off. Your new one just pops on. Make sure you line it up in the groove. Alright, then your new filter slides in. Push it all the way down. And then you want to pre-fill your filter. Just fill it up about a quarter or halfway with new oil. It's just a less harsh startup on the car because there's no oil in it when it first starts back up. So grab you a quart. Alright guys, so yeah, just get your new oil. Add a little bit.
A little more, is that good?
A little more. Like I said, just make sure you fill it about a quarter of the way. Not necessary, some people tell you don't have to do it. I always do it, so if you don't, that's okay. Alright guys, so just wipe out your oil housing real good. Clean up the area where it mounts. Make sure your old O-ring doesn't stay in there. It shouldn't, but it could. And just thread your new filter up in there. Ow.
Sorry.
Get you a tool holder that doesn't kick you and elbow you in the head. Alright guys, we got a ratchet on there just for some extra leverage. So the torque spec on the housing is between 18 and 25 foot-pounds, so that's really not a lot. So you really want to make sure you don't over tighten this, especially because it can cause it to crack, and it's just, yeah. So like there it stopped, so he's just going to give it a nice extra oomph, and that's all it takes. Make sure you don't over tighten it. Alright guys, then you just want to make sure you clean up everything really good. wipe the oil pan off because the oil spills on the pan. Wipe your housing off. Just clean everything up really good. And then we'll go up top and get oil put in this thing. All right, guys, so we're back up top. Get you a funnel. And this freaking diesel V6 Toyota made holds 6.4 quarts. So just take your time. Make sure you don't spill it everywhere. Again.
Yeah. There's that.
It's nice and easy, Happy. Nice and easy. All right, guys, we got our 6.4 quarts of oil in it. So then just take out your funnel, clean it off. Oil cap goes back on. Then we're going to lower it down off the jack so it's level, and then we'll pull the dipstick and make sure we got enough in there. We'll add if we need to. Alright guys, so we got the car started. Just letting it run for a second to let the oil socket through before we check the dipstick, and he's going to move over a little bit since we had a hole in our drain pan, so we can just check for leaks without there being a giant puddle of oil already there. Alright guys, so your dipstick's right here in the front, so you want to pull it, wipe it, put it back in, and then read what it says. So, pull it, wipe it. All the way back in. And then it should be up to the second dot. Which are we? Alright guys, so as you can see, the oil's up to the second dot, which is where it's supposed to be, so it's spot on. So then you just put your old dipstick back in, and then that's all there is to it. Alright guys, per usual, it wouldn't be a Torque Spec Garage video if I actually remembered to film an outro. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you all so much. If you have any questions about anything, leave them in the comments and I'll help you any way I can. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later guys.